Welcome to Harvest. We're in the heart here today. Moruga, Columbus, drop your hook right there. Some people would have tell you should have sling your hook one time too, but we're here for that today. Today we have come to talk about Moruga hill rice. Harvest, Moruga, hill rice, we out. Good morning, Mr. Jerome Scott. You are the Secretary of the Moruga Hills Organic Producers Association. That is correct?
Yes.
And your association is dealing exclusively with Moruga Hill Rice?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about Moruga Hill Rice.
So Moruga Hill Rice is a dryland crop.
A dryland meaning that we're not growing it in a swamp, we're not growing it in a mangrove. It don't need to be flooded with water.
It doesn't need to be flooded with water. And it does well on hills as well. So the Moruga Hills. So that means it doesn't need as much water as you say a wetland crop would need. So yeah, this is pretty much what it is.
So what we're looking at here, which to almost any casual eye would just look like some razor grass.
Yeah, this look like some, yeah. By the first glance it does look like that, but on closer inspection you could see the rice, and as it grows you could see the belly of the rice being filled with rice as the weeks progress.
The weeks progress, how long from seed to crop?
Between 12 to 14 weeks, I would say, weather dependent as well.
Between 12 to 14 weeks?
Yeah.
And what is what is the forecasted yield per acre?
Per acre, we're looking at over 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds an acre?
Yeah.
And what's the turnaround from seed to harvest?
The turnaround from seed to harvest is, in terms of time, between, I'll say, about 16 weeks.
About 16 weeks,
yeah.
So stretching to about 16 weeks, but anywhere within a 12 to 16 you could harvest.
You could harvest there.
Wow, that is actually really fantastic.
Yes.
Is this a crop where you just put it in the ground and you could walk away? How much maintenance you have to put into hill rice?
Not as much as maintenance as people would think compared to other types of crops. Once the major factor is keeping down the weeds that grow in between the rice.
Right, so, because the weeds look like the crop.
Yeah, the weeds look like the crop. So we have special bisque packs and mixes that we use, all organic, that helps mitigate the weeds and from rice growing, so they don't be overgrown. Tell
me about the association. How long have you all been in existence? It's an association, so yeah. I imagine you're a group of independent farmers.
Yes, we're all a group of independent farmers. Currently we have about 15 members,
right, on 5 working farmlands at the moment, and we've only been together for, I would say, just under a year. About a year?
Yeah.
Okay. What has been the experience of the farmers?
Well, to be fair, the majority of the farmers in the association, I would say, are first-time farmers.
Okay.
So it's been a steep learning curve for us all in terms of having to deal, like I said, weed maintenance, understanding the rice, understanding the weather.
You have no models to follow?
We do have a model that we get from Vista Dorado Estates, Mark Forgini, who's one of the lead rice farmers in Moruga.
Okay.
So he's like our consultant, he's also part of the association.
Right. So
he does give us an idea, but at the same time, MHOP, we are also forming our own module for ourselves.
What? You said that most of your farmers are new farmers. Why are the old farmers not coming?
That is a good question. I believe...
Is it that it's not seen as an economical crop? Is it that when a man considers planting over rice, he will get his...
Yeah, they seem to prefer other types of crops over the rice, I guess because of the turnover and the time. Short crops, they can get money much faster. And also, the rice, they don't see a big market for it.
Okay.
Whereas we have, for our research, we realized that the biggest market is outside of our borders, so we want to cater to that market.
Because Moruga Hill Rice, as you say, the biggest market is outside. Moruga Hill Rice, or what we know as Moruga Hill Rice, is actually a crop that was brought over by the Americans.
Yeah, the Americans.
Americans. The
Americans,
right?
Yeah.
Who were enslaved Africans in the States,
yes,
who, for the American War of Independence, fought for the British.
For the British.
And in exchange, they were granted lands in the colonies.
Yes.
The colonies being this part of Moruga.
This Moruga, Fifth Company
back at Princestown,
yes,
right? which was deep, hard forest.
Deep,
right?
hard forest.
In essence, these men had to come and clear the forest to make
They
their
did.
living. But they brought these grains with them.
Yes, they did.
This is a grain that, to the Western world and even within the diaspora of African culture, has been lost.
It's been lost, yes.
For a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Was it 4 or 5 years ago an American chef came?
Yeah, so it was about 4 or 5 years ago. An American chef came, tested the rice, and realized that this particular strain and genome has been lost, and it was refound here in Trinidad.
And this is when the story exploded, right?
Yes, it did.
It just ended up in the New York Times.
Yes.
It ended up in international chef magazines
Yes.
and food distributors. Everybody was talking about.
Everybody was
hill rice.
talking about the hill rice, yeah.
So where are we from then to now?
From then to now, obviously, the hysteria and the mass has a bit died down a bit, which is to be expected. But the rice farmers were continuing to progress and expand our rice production.
How within your association, how many acres are under rice production now?
Within our association, we have currently 40 acres allocated for rice.
Allocated, okay.
But I would say we're about half of that at the moment.
And that is all private lands, or has the government made lands available?
It's all private lands.
So those are all private stakeholders?
Yes.
Okay.
Stop the rising cost of food now. Grow your own food. Provide for your family and earn an income with Plant Doctor's Hydro Aqua of number 30 Matilda Road, Princestown. Grow safe, clean, and organic with your hydroponic supplies, organic potting soil, fertilizers, pesticides, and seeds. Let us help you grow and earn. Call 379-6710 or WhatsApp us at 372-9440. Plant Doctor's Hydro Aqua. Let's grow TNT together, one plant at a time.
Munich Home and Garden specializes in hardware, paint, home decor, tools, agricultural supplies, pet supplies, car accessories, appliances, and much more. Located at Val Park Shopping Plaza, Atlantic Plaza, Point Lisas, and Eastern Main Road, St. Joseph. Shopping comfort with our well-secured outlets. Call us at 663-5163 or visit the Munich Home and Garden Facebook page or www.munichttt.com. Munich Home and Garden, where we make shopping a fun experience. Calling all farmers, fishermen, and agri-entrepreneurs. The Agricultural Development Bank is offering its flagship product, the New Reality Loan. Get up to 80% financing for any viable business in agro-processing, agri-services, or farming with an effective interest rate of 3 to 5%. The New Reality Loan can assist with business startup, expansion, or product rehabilitation, working capital, debt consolidation, or for the purchase of new equipment. Visit one of our convenient locations in San Fernando, Chaguanas, Sangre Grande, Port of Spain, and Tobago. Come in and we'll make your dreams a reality with our New Reality Loan. Call toll-free 800-4ADB. That's 800-4232, or visit www.adbtt.com. The Agricultural Development Bank, growing stronger together.
Jerome, we are on one of your members' farms.
Yes,
right?
DNJ.
DNJ?
Yeah, DNJ Estates.
DNJ Estates. This looks like this has been set.
Yeah, so this has just been recently seeded, rotavated with a low pressure tiller.
Right.
So as to not disturb the ground too much. And the seed has been rotavated into
Yeah, because we don't want compacted
don't
land.
want a compacted land.
So once you seed, how long before the crop starts to come up?
I would say once it gets water, within a week you will start seeing the little shoots.
So even though it is a highland rice, it still has a dependency for water in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning to get the crop going.
So it's once our water hits that seed busts and the roots come out.
The roots can take root and the plant could start to emerge and
Okay.
thrive.
dry season starts. So
Yes.
and this space does not have irrigation yet. So
Yeah, so
this
we're-
farmer is now dependent on a first rain to come
on our first rain to come, but also we're thinking about setting up the irrigations as soon as possible,
Right.
to make sure that we can water these at least once a week.
Okay, because you'd want to maintain.
Yes.
Right. Do you have? Is there a significant death rate within the crop if you don't have a water schedule or a watering schedule?
Yeah, well, without a watering schedule and the high heats that we predict to experience during this dry season, the rice won't last much long from seed. So
Tell me about this estate that we are on now.
So this estate, DNJ Estate, basically they have a 20-acre holding, and part of the acre is an old abandoned cocoa plantation. So in the front section, which we are now, slowly by slowly, lot by lot, we're just clearing land and planting the rice as we go forward.
Has this? I see that we have planted over here. Has this farmer had reaped?
Yes, they have done one crop previous to this.
One crop?
Yeah, one crop previous to this, and that was on less than an acre. I believe it was like a sixth of an acre.
A sixth of an acre?
Yeah.
And are you aware of what that yield was?
I think it was somewhere in over 900 pounds.
900 pounds
Yeah.
on a sixth
Yes.
of an acre.
Yeah, high intensive.
So yeah, we starting to push tonnage.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so this field over here has been plowed and ready to go. What is the state of this field here? Because we're looking at a hillside going right back down to the road. This is all the same age?
So yeah, so this has been previously planted roughly 9 to 10 weeks ago.
Okay.
So yeah, this is this whole field here going up onto that hill. We also have a section over there because what we're doing is staggering our planting.
Right.
So over on that we have a 5 week old rice.
On the other side we
On
have
the-
5-week-old rice.
Yeah, and this fresh.
What machinery, what personnel, what resources you need to really get this rice thing going?
Well, the most important thing is land preparation. So for a holding of this size and what we plan to do, we need machinery, low ground pressure machinery to be exact. A
Because
tiller.
again, we don't want to compact the
Yes,
soil.
again, we don't want to compact the soil. So tractors, low ground pressure tractors, rotavators, tillers, and seeders are used on the more easier slopes. However, as you can see, a lot of Moruga is hills and quite steep hills, so those still have to be done by hand.
Right, okay. When you're harvesting, you have special equipment, do you have to have a special site to store your grain? I imagine the grain has to be milled before
Yes.
it gets to the customer in the shelf,
Yeah,
right?
so the same thing for the more lower parts of the land, we can use a modified harvester that
Okay.
we use that will also collect the rice waste as well, which we also use. And again, on the hills, we have to do it by hand because the machinery can't meet the demands on the hill.
So you husking and beating out rice and thing on the hills?
So no, when we collect it, it's all collected, and as it's harvest, it's transported directly to the mill for storage, for drying, and to be prepared.
Okay. What has been the biggest learning curve for you and the association with Moruga Hill Rice?
With Moruga Hill Rice, the biggest is being able to, well, for me, and a lot of the farmers, we actually don't live in Moruga.
Okay.
So the biggest learning curve is making sure that we're here enough to make sure the rice production is following the plans to get a good yield.
Have the farmers experienced anything that turns them off of doing hill rice?
Well, what we do also, part of MHOP, we like to intercrop as well.
Okay.
So we use banana, citrus, obviously cocoa and stuff like that.
So you hedge your investment bets?
Yes.
Right.
But again, predia is still a problem. Access to the lands is also a problem. The roads are not very bad. It becomes very expensive to maintain vehicles in the back here. Also, there's no other amenities like water and or electricity. So a lot of farmers it's very discouraging when they don't have these simple things to be able to stay on their land long for more than a
So,
day.
I mean, this is a national conversation because you said pretty lastly, you said access to lands, current and water. Men coming and thieving rice, brethren?
Luckily, no, it's too much work.
Too much work?
It's too much work. And it takes too long.
It's too much work?
It's too much work to steal.
When you say it's too much work, because from what you've just told me is you go up, you cut, you put it in a van and you're gone.
And you're
That
gone.
to me sounds like a perfect crop to thief.
Not in the size that we're doing it, and not to make it profitable for people. If they could steal a little bit, they might do, but for it to be profitable, it's not very profitable to steal. It takes
Because
too
they
long.
still have to process,
Still have
they
to
have
process
to
it, dry it, and all that takes time. They're not going to get any
So
money.
most of what your members experience in the realm of teething is they come in and take the fig, the yam, the everything else.
Yeah,
that they
everything
planted.
else.
Anything that can move one time.
Anything that can move one time, apart from the rice, they go.
And rice is not a crop like that can move one time.
No.
Okay.
It's too much work.
Stop the rising cost of food now. Grow your own food. Provide for your family and earn an income with Plant Doctors Hydra Aqua of number 30 Matilda Road, Princestown. Grow safe, clean, and organic with your hydroponic supplies, organic potting soil, fertilizers, pesticides, and seeds. Let us help you grow and earn. Call 379-6710 or WhatsApp us at 372-9440. Plant Doctors Hydra Aqua. Let's grow TNT together, one plant at a time.
Munich Home and Garden specializes in hardware, paint, home decor, tools, agricultural supplies, pet supplies, car accessories, appliances, and much more. Located at Val Park Shopping Plaza, Atlantic Plaza, Point Lisas, and Eastern Main Road, St. Joseph. Shopping comfort with our well-secured outlets. Call us at 663-5163 or visit the Munich Home and Garden Facebook page or www.munichttt.com. Munich Home and Garden, where we make shopping a fun experience. Calling all farmers, fishermen, and agri-entrepreneurs. The Agricultural Development Bank is offering its flagship product, the new Reality Loan. Get up to 80% financing for any viable business in agro-processing, agri-services, or farming with an effective interest rate of 3 to 5%. The new Reality Loan can assist with business startup, expansion, or product rehabilitation, working capital, debt consolidation, or for the purchase of new equipment. Visit one of our convenient locations in San Fernando, Chaguanas, Sangre Grande, Port of Spain, and Tobago. Come in and we'll make your dreams a reality with our new Reality Loan. Call toll-free 800-4ADB. That's 800-4232, or visit www.adbtt.com. The Agricultural Development Bank, growing stronger together.
Jerome, tell me about MHOP.
So we are a cluster of farmers, and we all have one goal in mind. That is to farm these lands in Moruga as sustainable. That is following the principles of organic farming, permaculture, agroforestry. You know, just to ensure that there is lands for the future generations to use.
So a big part of that, that's land preservation, because as you've said, to make sure that there is land available for the future generations to use.
For future generations.
If I decide I want to start growing hill rice, what do? I come to you and I say what?
You contact us on one of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and just reach out and we can have a discussion and see what is viable, where your lands are, what plans, what do you want from out of your lands in terms of hill rice, and we will try our best to accommodate you.
Membership fees, or when I harvest, a percent goes back to the association. How does the association?
All those things up for negotiation. We understand, especially in these times, things can be difficult, struggles, and our association is not really about the financial gain, but we more want to promote the ethos and the practices that will help sustain Trinidad and Tobago.
So this farmer, I understand, doesn't have a tractor.
No.
But his land has been cultivated and planted.
Yes, so within the association we pool resources as much as possible.
Fabulous.
And we help each other out.
I told you, that's a model that should be copied across the whole world.
That is our main goal. Our main goal for MHOP is to have a cluster of farmers where young people could come in and get 4 acres or 5 acres. We help them set it up, and we help them on the map to making their own money, sustaining their families, sustaining their communities.
That's absolutely brilliant, brother. That's an excellent model. model. Does MHOP have a seat at the table when it comes to discussing with government how to move this industry forward, this particular rice industry?
Well,
forward?
what we're currently doing at the moment is we're going through the process, working with the UNDP, intellectual property, WIPO and stuff like that, to get our geographical indicators. So we'll be akin to the Blue Mountain coffees of Jamaica.
Now, geographical indicator meaning, much like the Blue Mountains or Champagne from France, it means that this product has specifically grown
in a specific area and in a specific way.
Right, and in a specific way as well.
Yes.
Okay, because you're not going to get that if you weren't planting with an organic.
Yeah, and you're using sprays and heavy chemicals on your plants, then it can't be considered proper Moruga Hills.
So where is the industry right now? What is happening? Because I know I can go into the grocery most times and see a bag of hill, right?
Yeah.
Right. We've already discussed that the main market for this is outside.
Yeah.
So is it that there's a shortage on the shelves because most of it going outside? Where are we in our production scale?
The reason for the shortage of the shelves is we're not producing enough hill rice to meet the demands of domestic and international markets. So this is why we're trying to expand our operation as much as possible to meet those demands, because there is a demand for domestically and internationally. There's a demand for hill rice.
Yeah, because this is an ancient grain, right?
Yeah.
Right. What has been the organization's experience dealing with the more formal side of things with the government?
Well, we have the same usual problems with bureaucracy. You know, some of our farmers getting their farmers badge access incentives and stuff like that. We have been coming up some stumble blocks. However, the Ministry of Agriculture has been kind enough to extend stuff like soil testing so we can understand what we have in the dirt and what needed, what's missing. They've also extended, open to everyone the same courses that all our farmers have taken part. So they're helping us, I believe, in some way. Some ways they could do more to help us, but we're not waiting on that. We're not depending on it.
What would that help be? You have the magic one. I'm giving you the magic one now.
Well, there's a few factors. Access to land. In Moruga, there's a lot of abandoned land unused that is designated for agricultural use, but due to lack of infrastructure, road access,
lights, water,
stuff like that, people don't want to use to come and work in here. So that is one aspect of it, and two, the education as well. We're learning as we go along, but there's a lot of things that those in the ministry could help us with in terms of how we prepare the lands, how we maintain the lands, stuff that they know that we are only now finding out. With prior knowledge would have made our job a lot easier.
Okay. Give me one of those examples of prior knowledge before you came out and started to do this would have made things easier for you.
Definitely, for sure, how the hilly lands, how it's so hilly, what's the best way to prepare the lands, how to catch water. I mean, when we did dig our ponds, we did contact the ministry. They did come and give us an idea, but we were still doing it ourselves for the most part.
Okay. 5 years from now, where is MHOP? Where is Moruga Hill Rice? 5
years from now, MHOP, we're looking to have a large acreage within our association. 5 years, I could say if we could push to 100 acres in the next 5 years, cultivating mostly rice, intercropping with all the other citrus, cocoa, mixed fig and stuff like that. That would be a very good start. And
just to be clear, there is a shortage of production, but there is not a shortage of production facilities. There are at least 3 places I could go to on the island to get my rice produced, right?
To get your rice produced, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the facilities already exist to produce the crop.
Yeah.
We just need the crop.
We just need the crop. Okay. Yeah, that is the more thing. And we're finding that young people don't want to get into it because it's too labor intensive, hence why we have mechanicalized. And we've just discussed that hill rice is not actually that intensive. It's not that intensive. So once we make these things easier, we hope that the production of the crop itself could ramp up and we could meet the supply, the demand.
Now, my understanding is that there's not many pests in hill rice, right?
No,
From
it isn't.
seed all the way to harvest, your biggest problem, well, we know it's not the thieves, the biggest problem is the birds.
Is the birds, yes.
Right? I am sitting down here covered in the Moruga grasshopper, which becomes the locust.
This becomes the
Which
locust,
just a couple of months ago had farmers crying
Yes.
all along this southeastern corridor.
Yes, it did.
Right? These not bothering your rice?
Luckily, no, they don't really affect the rice. They come amongst the rice. They land on the leaves, but they don't disturb
Because
the
I've
rice.
seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
a plant completely covered in grasshopper, and you can't miss them. They're pretty, right?
They're pretty, yeah.
Completely covered, but none of the leaves had any holes from being chewed.
No, they're not a problem to the rice.
So they're eating everything else.
Everything else, your citrus, all the other fruit trees, they're attacking it, but the rice seems to be unbothered.
Now the ministry has a locust control program. So I mean, why are we sitting down here covered in locusts?
I would say the probably main reason is due to the pandemic and them not being able to come out here and do what needs to be done.
So there has been a cutback of service.
Yes.
Okay. And these aren't bothering your crops at all?
No, it's not bothering crops. The most we have to worry about is when coming close to harvest after the 12-13 week mark, then we have to worry about the birds. So we take our procedures like scarecrows and stuff like
And
that.
as simple as a scarecrow working?
Yeah.
Have you lost any significant amount of crop to birds? Like,
No, not
no?
to birds. Not to birds. No.
What have you lost crop to?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
It is mostly human error.
Okay. Okay. So again, we fall back into the trial.
Yeah,
trial and error. Learn as
trial
we
and
go.
error learning. Other than that, and keeping the weeds down, because the weeds will stifle the rice. So long as we keep that under control, there's no problem.
Now, when you say the weeds stifle the rice, are we talking about sun deprivation and nutrient deprivation?
And nutrient deprivation, even to some extent. We have a lot of vines in Moruga,
Right, yeah.
so they will come and take over the rice.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
we're on the forest edge.
Yeah.
Right.
So all those things, so we have to keep on top of that to ensure that it doesn't affect our rice yield.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to leave us with today?
Today, the biggest thing is the mind state. We want to ensure that we are a community, we're helping each other, and that's the only way we can prosper. That's the only way we can push the thing forward and reach the sustainability in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. One thing I will ask you, right? Because I was having a conversation with several people, and they told me that I have to prepare. Now, I've had hill rice. I quite like hill rice, but they've told me in order that I have to prepare it properly, I have to treat it like brown rice.
Yeah.
Right? What is the proper method for Tanti when she go in the supermarket, or boy over here when he go in the supermarket and he buy a bag of hill rice?
Rice.
What is the proper preparation method? Because it's not like white rice, you just throw it in a pot for 20 minutes and you walk away, right?
No,
15
you
minutes.
can't do that. You have to pay a little more attention. It also depends what dish you're making. So I would suggest pre-soaking it for at least an hour before. Tap water, pre-soaking it.
So almost like a dry peas, pre-soak it.
Yeah, pre-soak it.
Just an hour before you
Yeah,
say.
some people do it longer, some people do it overnight.
Oh, wow, overnight.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, because I like my rice quite grainy. Some people like it more thick. So our pre-soaking, then I bring it to a rolling boil, drain that water, and then use the same measurements: 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water.
And that's when you now start to hit the traditional rice cook method.
And that's when you hit the rice cook method.
Right.
So the initial boil is to just soften the rice, loosen it up a bit. And then when you drain that water, put fresh water, you add your seasoning, your coconut milk, etc. like that. And you cook it low and slow, steam it out, you get very good green.
Right, I don't think we need anything else. Thank you very, very much, Brother Jerome. Thank you very much for your time today, sir.
Thank you very much
And
for
much
coming
love to
down
the
Moruga.
Moruga Hills Organic Producers Association for having us out here today.
Anytime, you're welcome anytime.
Thank you, sir. We coming from Moruga. We ain't got no collie. 2 bags of rice in the Jeep and the eyes not bloody. This is the golden grade Moruga Hill rice. Watch me. An ancient grain growing right here on the hills of the south coast. Columbus Tree Hills. He land right round the corner there. And look what enslaved African people from America brought for us. Ancient grains right here in Moruga. We would like to thank the Moruga Hills Organic Producers Association for having us out today and sharing with us this real bounty of Moruga Hill rice. Look for it in your groceries. Remember, we all in this together. To my daughter, Daddy loves you, baby. Harvest, we out.